Hey guys, it's Sam from Reimagined by Sam. Just wanted to jump on and give you a quick tip when working with stripes. One of my favourite things to do just to make your piece stand out and a little bit different. So I thought this tip might help some of you. So just working on this little side table here. Just paint it in this cute little blue colour here, which is limpet shell from Lignocolor, and I was going to do some stripes on the side, so I thought I'd just quickly show you one way I do stripes. So I normally sort of tend to eyeball them, but it's probably not the best way to go about it. But I've just eyeballed this first stripe here, but then I just thought I'd quickly show you what I do to make sure then they're kind of evenly spaced. So I tend to start out in the middle, try and find just the middle of the piece, if you can see that. So I haven't measured that, but you could measure it. Then I just grab the tape that I'm using. It's not a very good bit of tape there. So just grab a little piece of the tape once I've got my first stripe on, and to get a space, I put that right next to my first stripe. If I was doing this piece properly, I'd be using smaller tape, but I couldn't find any smaller tape, so I'm just using this as an example. It's a bit wide, but that's okay. So I just put a piece at the top and the bottom. Try and get them as straight as you can, which I'm not doing a very good job at. Gives you the idea. And same on the other side. Just line it up. Doesn't have to be too perfect because we're going to take these off in a minute. And what that does, putting those two little pieces there, is lets you know that now you're going to have the perfect space to put your next piece of tape, and it's just a really quick way of lining the tape up so you don't have to eyeball the rest of your stripes, if that makes sense. So just grab your tape. I'm just using, I actually don't know where I got this from. I think it was from Bunnings, but I really love frog tape from Bunnings, and definitely recommend that your piece is really dry. I literally just painted this half an hour ago, so I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, just for the purpose of the video. But yeah, make sure your paint is really dry because you don't want to be peeling off your paint when you peel your tape off. But frog tape is really great. So then all I do with my tape is line my next stripe up, going off the two spaces that we've put in there. Line it up as straight as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm not pedantic about it, but obviously just line it up so it looks straight. So line up my next one. Oh, I'm glad my paint's not coming off. That's good to know. Sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. And then you can just take your spaces out. So now you have your stripes nice and evenly spaced, and you know that they're going to each be the same width, or however many stripes you're doing, it's going to be the same width. I just find that a quick and easy way to measure out where I'm going to put my stripes rather than having to eyeball it, or, you know, waste heaps of tape. I see people do like fill in every single section, but it's just wasting too much tape for me. So just find that a really quick, easy way to space out your stripes. You can see that there. So before you do your stripes, always burnish the edges, which just means rub down the edges, make sure they're down really nice and flat. Get in any crevices. I'm going to share some tips on different types of stripes. But my basic for any stripe is once you've burnished the edges and your masking tape is down, take the color that you've been painting your base color in. So for this one, it's the Limpet Shell in Lignocolor. So go back in with your base color, and I'm going to paint a stripe of my base color. Doesn't need to be perfect. And what that's doing is going to prevent any bleed through from the color that I want my stripe to be, because you're painting over those edges there. So when you go over with your top color, whatever color you want your stripe to be, you're not going to get that bleed through the tape, because we've now put the base color there. So hopefully we should get nice crisp edges. Okay, so once you've got your base color on there and it's dried, then you can get on to doing the color for your stripes. So I'm going to do a metallic stripe first. This is Lignocolor Metallics in Peppermint. So I wanted to do something really subtle that's sort of close to the color, my base color, so I thought this might be nice. So we've got our masking tape on there. We've done one coat of the base color over the top and let it dry. And now I'm going to go on with my metallic. So paint a coat of your metallic color on the top. You can mask off along the bottom if you want to, or you can just use a brush and kind of eyeball it. Okay, so happy with that coverage. So just to show you, if you wanted to do a second coat, obviously just wait for it to dry. But if you're happy with the coverage, then you can just go and peel your first bit of masking tape off. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but see, we get a perfect straight crisp stripe, because we painted our base color on there first to prevent any bleeding. You don't need to wait for the stripe to dry, but I'd recommend just peeling your tape off nice and slowly. Now I have paint everywhere. Let's try and zoom you in just so you can see. So we have a nice crisp line. So that's how easy it is to get really nice, perfect sort of straight lines when you're doing stripes. So I hope that tip helps you out when you're doing stripes on your next piece. I'm also going to do a really nice subtle stripe on this side using top coat to get what I call a ghosted stripe. So I'll be adding that to this video shortly. So another way I like to do a stripe if I want something that's just really subtle is actually using a top coat. So if you're using a mineral paint, obviously you don't need to top coat it. If you're using a chalk paint like this and you want to use a top coat to make a stripe, what I would recommend doing is before you do your stripes, top coat your whole piece, and then lay out your stripes like we've done here, and then go ahead and use another top coat to make your stripes. So if you're using chalk based paint and you want to do this, I would recommend, it's annoying, I've got paint all over my nails. I'd recommend sealing your piece in a matte top coat, so it still gives that matte finish, because then when we go in with putting the top coat on for stripes, you want to use a glossy top coat, so it just gives a really subtle stripe that you can just see the difference in color variation because we put a glossy top coat over the matte top coat. Hope that makes sense. So I didn't actually seal this, but just say this whole piece has been sealed in a nice matte top coat. Then I'm going to go in with a glossy top coat and just paint my top coat where my stripe is going. It'll all make sense when we pull it off. So I'm going to let that dry and then do another coat, and then we're going to pull off the stripe so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so that coat is dry, and I'm just going to quickly paint another coat of this top coat. If you've got a really glossy top coat, you'd probably only have to do one coat. You can use a glossy top coat. You could probably even try it with a clear wax if it gives a nice shiny finish. A satin top coat if you want it to be really subtle. So this is a really subtle stripe. So I'm not even sure if it's going to show up on camera, but basically by using a gloss top coat only in the section where you want to stripe, when you peel the stripe off, it's just going to show a slight color variation to your stripes. So from different angles, from the side and then front on, you're going to see that slight variation in color, which just gives you like a really nice subtle stripe. And then I often layer that stripe with, say, some transfers or something, so it just gives a nice cool different look to your piece. So we'll peel that off and hopefully you can see it. I'm not sure if you're even going to be able to see it on camera. Oops, and my paint came off because it wasn't dry. So this is the section here where our really subtle stripe is, where I've put, so there's no top coat there, or a matte top coat if you're sealing the chalk paint, and then you've got a glossy stripe there. Not sure if you guys can see that. It's just like the slightest variation. So I'm going to pull, so obviously normally you'd have the same stripes across. I'm just going to pull this one off now so you can see the difference. It's just a really quick, easy way of getting a perfect stripe. There's absolutely no bleeding there whatsoever. I'm really not sure if you can see this stripe here, but it's so subtle. But then in the light, it picks it up. I just think it's a really cool way to add like just a really subtle difference to your piece. And then, like I said, you could layer that with some transfers or something to make it sort of stand out a little bit. So there's just a few tips on how to do some cool stripes, how to get nice, clean, crisp edges on your stripes, and how to measure them up. So hopefully some of those tips have helped you, and you can go and add some stripes to your pieces. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reimagine by Sam. I'll be adding some more videos as soon as I can. Thanks.